Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Yes, we are back for another football talks on this lovely Sunday, innit? Football is going on. Spain, Germany, can't wait for that one after just witnessing Japan losing to Costa Rica. Those reviews will obviously be out. I don't know if I've uploaded those. I don't think so, but I don't know. But I just wanted to talk about the World Cup so far and teams that have surprised slash shocked me so far. It could be in both a positive or negative way. And disclaimer, the only teams so far at the time of recording that have played two games are Group A teams, Group B teams, Group C teams, and Group D teams. So I know Japan just played. They might be included in this as well. But so far, I've only got some of the teams that have played two games. So I'm recording this on the Sunday itself, so I apologize if I can't get everything through because I can't, right? I will be doing a full group stage review after the group stages are finished, with the World Cup content coming out as well. So there's a lot of content on this channel, so be sure to subscribe to that, and yeah, just stay tuned for the videos. But excuse me for that. Group A, the team that have shocked slash surprised me. I'm just gonna use the word shocked. Actually, let's say surprised. The team that has surprised me the most is Ecuador. Now, you must be wondering like why. Firstly, the opening game is against Qatar, but you know they did do quite well. Enner Valencia with the double. The second game was gonna be the game where we probably would have expected the Netherlands to win, right? But the fact that Ecuador went into that game, you know, they didn't get off to a good start. They looked like they were gonna get smashed. But they went into the break 1-0. Should have really been 1-1. Come out of the second half, made it 1-1, and then physically they were dominating Netherlands. Netherlands had nothing on them, and the Netherlands didn't have a single shot. I mean, they had one with Koopmeiners, but it was way over the bar. I don't think they had a single shot on target anyway. So Ecuador, for me, are the real surprise package of Group A. Getting 4 points from 6 is not bad. They can go through now if they do get a draw against Senegal. That's the bare minimum. I would have wanted to say Qatar, but I mean, look, the hosts, they're in a group where I don't think they were ever going to make it out. So it's hard to really judge them and criticize them because we didn't really expect them to do anything against Ecuador and Senegal. They didn't, and I don't think they'll do anything against Netherlands as well. And Netherlands, you could say, were a bit of a shock, based on how poorly the second half went against Ecuador. But I felt that against Senegal, they played alright. They got their 2 late goals. But I think the Netherlands will be just fine. I think they're not that much of a shock. But for Ecuador to play the way they are playing, it's a bit of a shock, to be honest. So for Group A, I'm going to say Ecuador. Moving to Group B with England, Iran, the USA, and Wales. And for me, the real shock of this group, in my opinion, is the USA. Now, you must be wondering why. For me, the USA, the first 2 games, 2 draws from 2. They scored 1, considered 1. They haven't been awful. That 45 minutes against Wales, they were on top. That was really perfect. They went into the second half, they started to sit back a bit and started to play defensive. And that was my problem with the US. When you are 1-0 up against Wales, you shouldn't really be saying, oh, let's just sit back for the whole second half and hopefully we can secure this 1-0 win. But he did that. Wales were already, you know, knocking on the door. And in the end, it was a clumsy mistake by Zimmerman, which gave the penalty away, and it was the equalizer. The second game against England, they played much better. I thought that they were the better side. And that midfield of Musa, McKennie, and Adams is wow, what a midfield. And overall, their squad is so young. It's so young. Take out someone like Ream. I think Zimmerman is getting on a bit. You have got a full young team. You know, Turner is still young. Robinson is quite young. Dest is still young, isn't he? Adams is young. McKennie is still young. Musa is very young. Pulisic is still relatively young. Ware is quite young as well. So even Sargent, but okay, fair enough. But that team is quite young. It's very young, in fact. So I think that if they can achieve anything, like going to the round of 16 or even the quarterfinals, we never know. I think it's an achievement. I think they have achieved what they plan to set out, and that is at least to make it up the group stages and potentially going to the quarters. I think round of 16 was probably what they wanted to achieve, and I think if they can qualify 4 years later, some of these players would have improved. So, you know, it's still a young squad, but I think what they have done in their first 2 games have been alright. You know, 45 minutes against Wales and overall against England have been alright. They have got Iran next. It's that battle for second. Who is going to go through? It'll be very, very interesting. Wales kind of shocked me or surprised me based on how poorly they have been. You know, I did say how the USA were very good 45 minutes against them, but I can't deny that, you know, if they didn't get a penalty, Wales wouldn't have gotten a draw. So they got away with that one. And then against Iran, nothing, absolutely nothing from Wales. Horrible is the only word to describe them, really. And that red card was horrible from Hennessy. It was a foul, and it was a red in my opinion. And they concede 90th plus 8th and 90th plus 11th minute goals, so they got what they deserve. I mean, if you look at it, they could still go through if they score like 4 goals against England or something, which is just mental. But for me, I'm gonna say that the USA are my surprise package of Group B. Into Group C and D, we'll start off with Group C. For me, it's a very, very interesting group. You know, 2 games in, Poland lead, Argentina second, Saudi Arabia third, Mexico bottom. For me, it was quite a tough one, to be fair. But I went with Saudi Arabia as the surprise. I know they did lose to Poland yesterday, but for me, it still baffles me how Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia. No disrespect, but it's one of the shock of the World Cup, and I can't think of many other shocks that I have seen recently. So I think that victory for Saudi Arabia is that huge that I'll immediately put them in the surprise package. I would have wanted to put Argentina if they had lost to Mexico and gotten knocked out, but you know, they did beat Mexico. I know they did, you know, lose to Saudi Arabia, which could be a bit of a shock from Argentina's point of view, but I feel like it's more shocking for a team like Saudi to beat Argentina than Argentina to lose to Saudi, if that makes any sense. So for me, Saudi Arabia deserves every single credit, and they deserve that victory. And you know, it's not over yet. You know, they have to take on Mexico next, while Argentina take on Poland. So we'll see what happens there. So for me, in Group C, Saudi Arabia are my surprise package. In Group D, France, Australia, Denmark, Tunisia, and I've got to dish out my first negativity or negative of the video. Denmark, with only just a point from a possible 6, I felt quite disappointed for them. Look, against France, no one expect Denmark to win that one. Let's be honest. I did predict a 2-1 France, and it did happen, right? But against Tunisia, it was a must win. They had to win it. They just flopped. They just didn't get the job done like they had to. And they're now putting themselves in a situation where they have to win against Australia to go through. And Australia are comfortable, are on pole position. So it's very, very tough. And Denmark, for me, are the surprise. France winning 2, you're not going to put them in the surprise. Tunisia, you know, losing and drawing, is that really a surprise? No, I don't think Tunisia is drawing one and losing one is a surprise, and Australia losing to France isn't a surprise, and beating Tunisia isn't a surprise. So the only team I could have put as a surprise in Group D was Denmark, and based on how they started against Tunisia, I was quite surprised. But there's still a lot to play for in Group D, and yeah, my surprise package for Group D is Denmark. Right, so into Group E and F, but before I clarify anything, Group F at the moment, there's a game between Belgium and Morocco, and Morocco have just won. Now, this is interesting. They haven't just won, but they're leading 1-0 actually in the at the moment it's the 85th minute, but they are leading 1-0, so that would put them up to, I want to say, 4 points, and Belgium with 3. So you swap those two around basically in Group F. But let's talk about Group E first. We have got Spain, Japan, Costa Rica, and Germany. For me, the real surprise is Germany. I know they can still bounce back. They can still go through after after Japan's defeat to Costa Rica, which was very shocking. But even if they do go through, they'll be looking back at that game going, how did we lose to Japan? No disrespect, like Argentina, Saudi, Japan deserved it. But as a big nation like Germany, losing to Japan, what's an absolute shocker. It's the same logic here really. I think it's more surprising for Germany to lose to Japan than Japan beating Germany. It's the same logic in my opinion, and I've got to go Germany. You could say Costa Rica, but they got trashed 7-0 by Spain, and getting that 1-0 win over Japan, I think it's surprising, but I wouldn't say it's the surprise of the group so far. I wouldn't say that because I'm not too sure if they will go through, you know. I don't know. -6 goal difference, but it doesn't really mean much, does it? If they can get the points, which is the most important, that's a different story. So yeah, for me, Germany in there as the surprise package in Group E. And one last thing, Spain beating Costa Rica 7-0 isn't really a surprise. I mean, it's a surprise that they scored 7, but I don't think it's as shocking as Germany losing to Japan, you know. In the Group F, like I said, Morocco have just made it 2-0, I think. I think so. Nah, they didn't. Oh, fair enough. But whatever happens between Belgium and Morocco, currently Morocco are winning 1-0, so it might change. Belgium could maybe get it 1-1. But Group F is very interesting in this one because we've only seen one game between Croatia and Canada. So I mean, yeah, we've only, not between them, they haven't played each other, but we've only seen one game from Croatia and Canada. Croatia drawing 0-0 with Morocco, Canada losing to Belgium. I'm gonna say Canada as my surprise package here. It's the same with the US. Look, Canada lost their first game, undeserved defeat. I felt that Canada were the better side. Belgium, you know, with a bit of luck, but that's all it takes sometimes. But I think Canada, if they can beat Croatia here, they go up to 3. Morocco, let's assume they're gonna go up to 4. So it's gonna be 4 points for Morocco, 3 from Belgium. Let's assume, because I don't know what happened, but assuming that the game continues to be 1-0, Morocco 4 points, Belgium 3 points, Canada win will bring them to 3 points as well, and that would be quite big. As for the rest, I can't comment. Like I said, you have only got 2 teams who have played 1, and Morocco getting a 0-0 draw. I mean, if they do beat Belgium, I could say that they are a surprise. Belgium, I could also say they are surprised because of how poorly they have been so far. But I'm gonna say Canada just because Croatia and Canada have only played 1, so it's kind of hard to say. So yeah, my surprise package for Group F is Canada. And down to the last 2 groups, we have Group G, consisting of Brazil, Switzerland, Cameroon, and Serbia. Again, every single team so far have only just played 1, so it's very hard to say which team have been the most surprising of this group. For me, I'm gonna say Brazil, based on how I saw them play against Serbia. Switzerland got the 1-0 win, even though it wasn't the most convincing victory, but they did get the job done. But yeah, it's really tough to say. So yeah, for me, Group G, I'm just gonna say Brazil because of the way I've seen them play so far, and I think they are gonna be one of the sides that are gonna be favorites to win it. So for me, Brazil. I mean, Cameroon losing and Serbia losing, it's probably expected that they were gonna lose their first game. I'm sure they'll rebound and get it back. But I don't think it's surprising for Serbia to lose to Brazil. And Switzerland and Cameroon, it could have gone either way, but it's not surprising. So yeah, I'm just gonna say Brazil. And from Group H, Portugal, South Korea, Uruguay, and Ghana. What a mix of matches. But I'm gonna say the team that sort of surprised me the most was actually Ghana. Now, Portugal won, right? And I know I'm a Ronaldo fanboy, but for me, Ghana played really, really well against Portugal. They went 1-0 down, and normally when you are a team to go 1-0 down, you struggle to find an equalizer, and most of the time, the opposition makes it 2-0 and game over. But the fact that after going 1-0 down, just under 10 minutes later, they went and gotten the equalizer to make it 1-1 is just something special. Okay, and then they went and conceded 2 more, 3-1, but to pull it back to 3-2 again is really, really, really something that I haven't seen much. So for me, Ghana will be one of the surprise. They take on, I think, South Korea next. I mean, if they can beat South Korea, they could still be in it, considering Portugal beat Uruguay. So Group H surprise for me is Ghana. And that'll be it for today's video. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hit the like button if you guys did. Subscribe to the channel if it's on already. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.